Okay, there seems to be a lot of talk about the need to upgrade the radio. The 7300, they're saying getting the 7300 MK, I believe it is, or something of that sort. Is there really a valid reason? Then you hear potential radios that are coming out, some that have been out, and maybe the 705 needs to be upgraded. I think I'm going to provide some logic here to help you decide. And first thing we'll do, we'll talk about the 705. Some of the arguments I guess people will use is saying, oh, it's a QRP rig. It doesn't have a built-in tuner. Or they'll compare one radio to another radio and, oh yeah, the audio is a better quality with this brand than that brand. And there was one scenario where I think one radio low power was like 6 watts while the 705 has 5 watts. You're not going to notice a difference. You need to double the power to even notice a difference. So you got to jump from 5 to 10 watts or 6 to 12 watts before you notice a difference. So some of the logic people are using, it's almost like it's some sort of marketing ploy to encourage. I know on the 7300, the market has been saturated. I guess over 200,000 units sold. So they have to somehow add some features to motivate people to look at upgrading. That's another subject in itself I'll talk about, so I'm going to concentrate mostly on the 705. I've had this for a while, and from everything that I've seen and heard, I don't see absolutely no reason to upgrade. Absolutely no reason to upgrade. In fact, many of the competition don't even have the features that was essential for me to even consider this. I think one of the things that people use to sell is that, oh, buy this radio and you only need one radio. Being a ham advanced and covered every aspect of a ham radio at one time or another, through experience, there's no such thing as you only need one radio. There's no such thing if you only need 2 radios. You're going to need 4 or more. Anything more than 4 depends on some applications. But definitely 3. I can't see that to be a minimum. Why? It's because you may be wanting to work HF. You may want to listen to a few local repeaters. Or you may even want to, not only just on FM, but perhaps some of the digital modes like D-Star, DMR, Fusion. And that determination, of course, will be what's available locally. It's no good having a DMR or Fusion if there's no repeaters or none planned in the area. And then it's not usually the greatest for mobile use. For base, yeah, because you have internet. So these digital modes, to me, it doesn't matter if it comes with D-Star, DMR. You just live with it and use it locally. And you can buy for $50 all those other modes off a handheld. You don't need high power. You have Wi-Fi, a home-based connection. So I don't think a digital mode is an argument to go one way or the other. If they count with one, that's great. Now, for QRP mode, yeah, you can get an amplifier and get a tuner, especially if you just put up what's the name type of antenna, or you're not into making your own antennas. It'll be quick and easy. But the amount of money that you're going to spend for a tuner and for an amplifier and all the other accessories and bells and whistles, you can take that money and buy your second radio. Because you're definitely going to have 2 radios. The only thing that's going to stop you from not having 2 radios is budget. That's it. That's the only reason. So you have to kind of think that way. Otherwise, you will end up having to upgrade and lose on your previous purchase, when this radio will be good for most of your lifetime. I remember having some ICOM solid state radios. It was VHF all mode and another radio UHF all mode. I wish I never sold those. They're still the best. So yeah, that's one reason I like ICOM, because they do last and are usable for a very long period of time. The only accessory that I have is an external speaker. It's actually a Bugatti. It has Bluetooth and has a direct connection. I use a direct connection, so my Bluetooth is free for D-Star or whatever else I want to use. And what's nice with an external power supply that has a built-in amplifier, so you can get the output you want. Arguing that one radio sounds a little bit better than another radio, that has a lot to do with your own ears. If you don't, like I have a sensitivity in the 800 megahertz because of years of CW. It's not an argument to upgrade. I know on the 7300 they're pushing this HDMI, which is about time they licensed that and made it available. Wish they did that with the Bluetooth and USB and things of that sort. Anyways, there's software. In fact, I'm using SDR control. Works beautiful on my iPad, works beautiful on my MacBook Pro M4 Pro chip with iOS 26. I haven't used it on my iPhone, but I have on the iPhone 12, but not on the 17 yet. I haven't tested it, so I have to verify that. I know Bluetooth can be an issue, but with Wi-Fi, it's not an issue. So, yeah. Absolutely no reason to upgrade. When it comes to menu, I think no one will argue that ICOM probably has the best menu, or one of the best. The screens are fantastic, whether it be on the 7300, the 52 Plus, or even the ID52 Plus. I think I said 705, yeah. Okay. Screens, you can't complain. There's enough memory channels. I know the 705 has 500, while this 52 has 1,000 and a bunch of other ones. You know, the repeater digital 3600, I think 1,000 for the FM broadcast stations. Yeah, that's more than enough. It doesn't matter, even if this was only 200 memories, because of the SD card. And because of their upgrading some features, the SD card no longer is limited to 32 gigabytes. So you can create a CSV file for every province or every county and then switch from one to the other. So don't get too excited when they say, oh, you can put 2,000. It's not really a selling point. As long as it has an SD card, I would say that's a requirement. And Wi-Fi, I say that's a requirement. especially with Windows 11 and new operating system. All the old drivers, USB A, B, they're being all blocked or no longer working unless you stick to Windows 10 and an older version of a Mac device like I have on my iPad. And of course Bluetooth is nice if you need headphones or exterior speaker. Another area where I've seen people argue, they don't like that mini USB. I've used it a few times to connect for programming to see how it works. I find it's quicker just to use the SD card. There's no need for me to upgrade that to a USB-C. I had one person mention, well, some of the amplifiers, I don't think this applies to the ICOM amplifiers, but some of the third-party amplifiers, a USB-C is advantageous for some reason. They didn't say why, they just made that claim. So if you're not going to have an amplifier, then don't spend your money upgrading to USB-C. Put it towards your second radio. So when you're shopping, if you don't have one, SD card, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, great display, a reasonable amount of memories. Check to see if you can program it on your laptop. Check to see if you can do it on Windows 11 or on iOS 26. And if not, look for another radio that has that. Or if none of them are available, this is where the SD card comes in handy, and shop around for a third-party software that will run on those devices. Okay, I won't, as you can see, there's absolutely no need really to upgrade your 705. It's a great base station, you know. It's fantastic portable station. I wouldn't use it in a mobile. You can, but it's too expensive. And with distracted driving laws, you just want a simple radio, you know, FM. You may be better off with a $50 HT, handheld, 5 or 10 watts capable, and a good high gain antenna on top of the roof of your truck or vehicle, which is what I have. Tri-band antenna, even if it's a tri-band handheld. It gets broken in, it gets stolen. Well, you lost $50. You didn't lose $1,500 or $2,000. And the only time you want 25 or 50 watts is if you're in a rural area, or you want to work a repeater where you often do a lot of picketing, fence picketing, very noisy. So for mobile, yeah, it can be done. It's small enough, it's compact. In fact, I think it's more compact than like the 5100 or the 2730. From what I can see with the 5200 and the Kenwood 750, it's not going to be a mobile radio. It's strictly base by the looks of it. It's too bulky. If you're RV camping, your RV is big enough, you have a little office space that you can create, yeah, it will work. So that's the logic I use for myself. It may work for you. So if you happen to have a 705, I'm happy with it. I think you have every reason to be happy with it. Just save your money buying accessories, put it towards another radio. So hopefully you're in agreement. There's no need to upgrade your 705. I can see the manufacturers like the 7300, 200,000 units sold, saturated. Yeah, so they have to take a real good radio and add a few extra features like HDMI, USB port, dual antenna, for band filtering, I can see if you don't have a 7300, then those features might be good, or you got so hooked into HF that you want to work those really weak stations. Yeah, maybe you can justify it that way. But for the average user, there's no reason for a 7300. I use it, and the display is on my computer. I can control my radio from my computer. So, even the 2730, one of the reasons why I didn't buy the 2730 because of the white display, I just figured for mobile it's not going to be good. I guess they must have heard enough of that, so they just released the same thing but just provided a black screen. So, double check just how much of an upgrade you are getting and if these upgrades are really worth it. If I was satisfied with the white screen and there was a big difference in price, and if I wanted a second radio, I'd probably grab the white version and just dedicate it to a crossband application, and then I can use my black one for mobile use. Currently I have it mounted as one unit because it's quick and easy for taking in and out. But if I was to make a permanent installation, yeah, I probably would separate the head and recess the head, have everything hidden, and quickly take the head with me as I leave the truck. Okay, we'll leave that there. I think it's getting a little bit long right now. So hopefully give you some thoughts as to whether you should upgrade. And from what I can see, the 705 is so popular, so versatile, and it's probably the most used radio that I use. Works great. Take care. Have a nice day. Well, I should throw in this is SDR control. I have videos on it showing it. But right now it's hooked to the ICOM 7300. I like the FT8 just to check for propagation, especially when I'm doing building antennas and want to see what type of how well it works without having to bother people. And yeah, when it comes to programming of all the radios, I would say the 52 plus. I like it the best because it's the quickest way to make changes on the radio itself, and programming. It has an SD card, plugs into a USB-C port here on my Mac, and it basically shows up on my desktop. The same thing, I don't think I ever tried putting on my desktop the 7300, but I do use the SD card. And it is also great. It's a little bit less than that of the 52 plus because I have to do an extra step in order to make changes in the radio itself. Otherwise, all the same. I've mentioned that in the past, and I tell you, it makes a big difference when you're in a scenario and you need to make changes on the fly there. Okay, that's it for the 705. And I guess I'm good for another year. Take care. Have a nice day. If you haven't done so, it would be appreciated. Please subscribe. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.